Hey, Eamon,
What's up?
I heard you bought something.
I did, and I don't think anyone's really going to actually like it. I love it.
I like it.
Love it. It's vintage.
Oh, most
Japanese.
definitely. What'd you buy?
About a 1995 Geo Prism.
A Geo?
A Geo Prism. Same thing as a Corolla. GM body.
Where did this car come from?
Which time?
Exactly.
So I've actually bought this nice pile of whatever kind of turd you want to call it. This is the third time that I've acquired it. So I bought this thing, had a bad CV shaft, fixed it on.
What year was that?
2012, I think. I think it was 2012. That was the first time I bought this thing. I think I paid $700 for it. $700 is what I paid for this car originally. And I'd already had one of these, and so I had
The hyphy green one.
The hyphy green one. I had the CV shaft on lifetime warranty from AutoZone. Pulled it at the guy's house after I paid him. Went back, fixed it, drove it home, drove it for a few years. I actually traded my brother-in-law for his Mazda, I think it was a Protege, because it had a blown head gasket. Head gasket in a can, that thing, sold it.
Then resold it.
Then I got it back. So the
Oh yeah, you got it back
I got
from.
it back from my brother-in-law for I think $400, $300 or $400. The fuel hose was blown on the pump in the tank, so it wouldn't pass smog. It was running too lean, wasn't getting enough fuel. Bought it back from him. I think I drove it for another year and a half. I sold it to one of my coworkers. He drove it for I want to say a year or 2 years. He sold it to my friend Mike. My friend Mike's had it for I think the last.
Well, you said he smogged it 3 times.
Yeah, it was 5 or 6 years. The two smogs, he had to smog it once when he bought it, and then the year after that. So I want to say 5 years, but it might have been 6. And then he called me up because when he bought it, I said, "Hey man, if you ever sell this thing, let me know."
Let me know.
Those of you who know cars, Toyota has the best air conditioning you could possibly imagine. I don't know what they do different. I don't know what it is, but it always works.
And this thing still blows chips.
It's still chilly. It'll make you cry. It's so cold. But yeah, if you don't know, a Geo Prism is a GM-bodied Toyota Corolla. So
Well, I mean, it's probably, this car is still probably made in Japan.
no, completely, entirely.
It's just GM name on
it's
it.
GM name.
Yeah.
The Geo brand.
As
it
you can
has a
see,
Chevy
the
symbol
Chevrolet
right
and-
there. Yeah, but it is a Toyota.
But it's
Corolla.
still a fucking Corolla.
But yeah, it's got 208,000 miles on it now. It still runs fantastic. It does need.
That's what's
back.
wonderful about
Yeah,
it.
it still runs great.
And it's
AC
5-speed.
It's 5-speed. It is dirty. I have to clean the thing, but
You lock it?
I do. I don't know. It's weird. It's dirty. It's 5-speed. When I first got it, I did swap it out for a cluster that has a tack. That was circa 2012, 13, something like that. Yeah, it's great gas mileage. It's like 30 miles to the fucking gallon.
Yeah, that's what I love about these little stupid cars. So I used to have a 1990. What was mine? A 96?
Yeah, you were OD2 though.
I had a white 96 Geo, and that was probably the best car I ever owned in my entire life. And mind you, I've owned probably 400 or 500 cars over the years. But my little stupid Geo was the favorite car. One of my favorite cars.
That's the only reason I bought this back. It was the second one I owned. The first one I owned, one of our friends, Mr. Flood, you know who you are, actually blew that car up, and it just never ran right after that, even with a new engine in it. I think there was the way you have to time the cams in these things, I think even with the new engine, I don't think they had it entirely timed correctly. So I ended up getting rid of that thing, and then I bought this one shortly after, like very shortly after that. And at one point, this thing was actually slammed. This thing was...
Yeah, we had her nutted out, yeah.
They fixed that. The rims I got in the trade for the Protege because he had just put brand new tires and they got put on this thing, and then I bought it. But yeah, I think since 2012, this is actually the second set of tires this thing's had since 2012.
That's wild. That's literally almost a whole decade.
Yeah, whole decade. And he told me, my buddy Mike told me, he's like, I only replaced them because they were dry rotted.
And what's funny is, I bet you they only changed the oil probably 2 or 3 times.
Well, it's Toyota, and this is actually before Toyota got sued for the valve guide seals. valve seals. So it does burn oil. That is.
Oh yeah,
That's a known Toyota thing.
I'm
in
sure
this
it does.
era. But I mean, I'll drive the shit out of this thing. I don't
Oh
care.
yeah.
Out there at a quart every month or two. I'm not going to put a ton of miles on this thing. It's for driving up to the ranch. It's for whatever.
Yeah.
Because the Envoy it's, you know, like, I can't keep my foot out of that thing, so it's 8 miles to the gallon just because I want to drive the damn thing like I want to drive it.
Yeah, when you got a Chuck Norris cam, you
Yeah.
kind of have to.
Sounds good. It's got good exhaust. You have to floor it. It's just there.
But regardless of what we're talking about, this little stupid car.
Because it is a stupid car.
What do we have sitting in your garage right now?
So this car has actually been a part of my family right here. This is a 1970 Mustang Fastback. Let's see, this has been going on, I think 22 years this has been in my family.
I remember when I first met you, this car sat in your parents' garage for like literally 10 years, and no one even looked. It was literally a shelf.
Yeah, there was boxes all over it. There was shit covering everything. It was. My parents bought it for my brother for his 16th birthday is what it was. It was a 16th birthday present, and it just never got touched, ever. So I think my dad bought this knowing this is my dad's car. This is not my car. I wish I could.
No, this is your dad's car.
Wish I could claim ownership, but he bought it knowing it was going to be his. I guarantee you. But yeah, no, it sat before we even got it in semi-drivable condition. It was 17 years.
Sounds about right.
It just sat in the garage without an engine, but nothing, no interior, no nothing in it. It was just a shell. But you can see now all the interior's done. Mostly my dad.
Gorgeous.
Mostly my dad, but me and my dad have both spent a lot of time on this thing. He did pretty much all of the interior. I don't actually think I helped him with any of the interior. He did it all himself.
But I remember coming over about maybe 5 years ago or something, and we got it running.
Yes.
When he got the what engine is in this car?
So this is a 70, but it's got actually, I think this does have a 70 date code engine in it. So this is a 1970 351. It's got aluminum Pro Comp heads on it, but they've been worked. It's 30 over, which makes it a 357. Runs fantastic. Runs absolutely
This thing is
phenomenal.
a freaking.
It's got long tube headers on it with a T5 5-speed. Yes, a cable driven. You can see it right here.
There's your cable.
Cable
right there.
driven 5-speed. So how we got around that, because normally you can't run a cable actuated throwout with long tubes on these cars.
We actually talked to David Freiberger one time
Years ago.
and he said you can't run long tubes.
This is right after he got the disgusting running, and we were at Sonoma Raceway for one of the drag events. And my dad ended up talking to him, and I ended up walking up right as they were talking about the long tube headers, and he said, you can't run long tube headers with a cable driven clutch. And I just said, well, we made it happen. So what I did was actually built a little spacer off of the block to bring it out past the headers, and then I also did the same thing on the clutch fork. Welded that all together, and the clutch pedal is slightly high, but it works great. You can't get around it. The price cost versus doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
And doing a hydraulic clutch.
This was budget in mind.
We're like all of you guys. Yeah, it's budget in mind. I don't have my project's sitting right behind you. That car is going to be 4 times faster than this vehicle. But that's probably not going to get touched for like another 3 years.
No, it won't be that long, but we'll get to it. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
We can, yeah. So this is a 73 Ford Maverick.
The wheel chock on top.
Yeah, I gotta keep it down for when it gets windy. So if you actually know anything about Mavericks, from 1973 and above, they were all coded as grabbers. But previous to this, I had an actual 71 grabber.
We love that little car. That little thing got out on.
That was
That thing got out.
It had a 302. Actually, an old 302, not even a good one. It wasn't a roller block.
Yeah, but that thing moved.
But yeah, it had a nitrous cam in it. It was high compression 289 heads. I mean, and not just high compression. I'm talking the expensive high performance high compression Ford heads. And that thing it moved out. But it had been beaten so badly. The subframe in the rear was just gone. And this thing's actually mini tubbed. in the back, which is the only reason I actually wanted
So
it.
somebody actually went in here and
It's-
chopped a trunk up?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's
You can't see it from here, but
you kind of can, but not really. But yeah, no, it's mini tubbed. I can fit a 12 in there. I think if I want, maybe a 10
I don't think you can see anything in here. But yeah, I mean, if you just run a 10.5 tire,
10.5W. The door still opens so nicely. You can see it's been sitting for a while, but I just saw the spider webs.
yeah, literally, this car has been sitting for. Well, how long has it been sitting since when? How long has it been sitting before you bought it?
Before I bought it, I don't actually have an exact number on that, but I'm gonna assume at least 5 years, and it's been sitting.
Another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. But it's got the high back seats in it. I actually have a whole nother set of high back seats over there.
So what our idea is with this car is we're trying to do like maybe a Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Yep.
Or a Hot Rod Power Tour, something like that. I don't know.
So
We don't even. So you have an engine that you did build, right? Or you
I
ordered
traded.
half the shit for it.
So I have pretty much everything except for the valve train for this one, which my goal for this thing is 600 wheel NA before it gets nitrous, because it is getting nitrous.
And this car is a leaf spring.
It's a leaf spring rear, and it's going to stay leaf spring rear. So we're actually
Okay.
going to inboard them and do a not monolith, I'm sorry. We're going to do a one spring in the back with sliders on it. Just because simplicity, cheapness, I don't want to spend the money on a 4-link.
Which, in time, will we do that?
Yes.
Or you want to just run it like that?
Well, no, we can't, because the way that the subframe is set up on this, where the leaf springs are at right now, they're actually where the old wheel well used to be. So we can't do that. So we actually have to inboard the springs, and if we have to inboard the springs, we're putting sliders in. It's not that much more work. So
Okay.
I actually traded for this car. I had a 351.
What'd you have before this?
For the 71, I had a built all forged 351 that was set up for, I think when I built it, it was set up for roughly like 18 or 20 pounds of boost. It was also going to be a very nasty high horsepower engine, but I found this thing, and after I had the other car up in the air for a while, and I was looking at the rear shock brace and everything else and how rusted it was and pieced together, it just didn't make sense.
The car
to
was
build
a
that
shit
car.
box,
Yeah,
basically.
it was a shit box. I mean, I traded a 75 Toyota pickup for it. Granted, it has that.
Which, mind you, we built a badass.
Yeah, it had a
Little
350
truck.
in it, and it had a 5-speed in it. But I traded that engine for this car, which I think I had like $1,200 into that engine at the time. This was a while ago. But
Yeah, this was also, mind you, what, 8 years ago or something?
yeah.
So, what do you have now?
This is a 1969 351 Windsor, which is a short deck, if you know what you're looking at. And on top of that, over in this corner, buried behind all of this junk, I have a set of Trick Flow 11R or 10R, whatever the hell it is. Trick Flow heads. I've got a-
Expensive ass fucking aluminum heads.
yeah, they were like $2,000. And then I've got a full 408 forged rotating assembly. So it is set up. It's going to be damn near 12 to 1 the way it's set up right now, or 11.5 to 1. So naturally aspirated with the right.
Are we going to run it NA? Or what are you going to do?
Initially, yeah, but I want to do NA.
You going to spray it?
Yeah, it's going to be minimum 200 shot, but I want to go for a 300. So if I can make 600 wheel and throw a 200 shot on it, that thing already weighs. So that car from factory is 28 and some change, I believe. Full end.
That car does not weigh nothing. It's lighter than a C5 Corvette.
It's lighter than this Mustang, right?
It's
This
lighter than
Mustang,
yeah. Oh yeah.
This is,
Oh, most definitely. This is a big. I mean, realistically, this is not a big car,
it's
but the Maverick,
slightly bigger than the
the
Jeep.
Maverick is a little tiny car. It's like a first gen Nova basically,
Yeah.
which a little bit more than a first gen Nova, because a first gen Nova is like what 2,500 pounds, something along the lines of that.
Yeah, it weighs a
But
lot more than a first.
regardless, we could probably shave some weight out of that stupid car anyway.
Yeah, I don't have to put a back seat in it.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
add a roll cage, obviously.
Yeah, so we're gonna add probably 250 pounds
Yeah.
in DOM tubing and whatnot.
So call it 3,000. If we can cover.
Yeah, if you pull out 3,000 pounds and you're doing
600 NA wheel horsepower plus the 200 or 300 shot. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think
the
the car-
quickest thing in the world. but
no,
pretty
it's not
fun.
going to be the fastest thing in the world, but it's going to be fast enough for us to go have fun
Absolutely.
and be able to be streetable.
Yep.
That's the thing. we're still gonna drive that car on the road.
So I know
We're not
we
gonna
do a lot of
trailer
LS
that
stuff,
fucking thing.
And I've been getting a lot of shit from all of us, him and all.
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
like,
I always talk shit about LS
throw an
stuff.
LS in it. Let's go. And I get that. Yes, it'd be easier, probably
No,
make more power,
no.
probably be cheaper. But,
Yeah, most definitely.
but it's
But
fun.
it's more about the nostalgic aspect, I guess you would say.
Yep.
Your dad is a big time as he's leaning on this car right here.
Big time poor guy. These center lines actually, these came off of my first Maverick. These are off.
Oh, those are off the off the one.
Maverick. So when I had initially torn that car apart when I started building the 351, and that was right about the time he was getting this thing running, and he needed some rims, and I'm like, hey, just use my center lines, you know. So the front and back.
And they've been on here
they've been
since.
on here since. So I wanted them back. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
So I want these rims back because they fit good. They're can't remember the width on them, but the back space.
What are those 15s?
They're 15, but I don't
What's
remember
on? What
the
tire
width.
is 275 or something?
These are. No, they're only 255.
Oh, 255.
Yeah. But the back spacing on them fits perfectly.
Oh no, that wheel sits in that
Yeah.
fucking
So
body.
I wanted them back. I'm like, hey, I want to get the rims back for the. He's like, no, you got to find some other rims. I'm keeping these. I'm like, well, all right then.
Did we buy those at Cherry Auction or something?
No, that was
What were
the
those
10
other stupid
those were
wheels?
The 10.5 inch that we bought. I still have those. I got some 10.5 wide rims.
Can we run those on the Mav?
We can try, but I think they might. The back spacing I want to say is like 4.5 or 4 inch, and they stick too far out, and they try to catch this wheel lip on them. That's why they didn't go on the last Maverick. But I mean, I'm probably gonna tear that rear end out for another vehicle, so I can.
That has a 9-inch in the rear, or
It
no?
does, yeah. It's a 9-inch.
So what rear end did that car actually come with originally?
An 8-inch.
So that was an 8-inch rear.
Yes.
And
8-inch rear.
somebody, so before we even got to fucking with that car, somebody already put a 9-inch in that car, correct?
Yeah, 9-inch. It had 350.
We're gonna grab another beer, boys. You got one?
Yeah. But yeah, it was 9-inch, 355 gears, and it's got it has a locker in it, or limited slip. But it's a really stiff limited slip. Like, it's even up in the air, it's very hard to turn one tire against the other. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where that rear end just wanted to spin only one tire. But that's actually coming out for another project that you guys actually haven't seen. So I'm building a whole nother rear end for that thing when it gets in the garage. The other project is actually probably going to be in videos and out first. Just because it's more obscured off the wall and cheaper to build than that car.
And we like to build off the wall kind of
I still
crap as
have-
well.
Probably just in that engine, I'm willing to bet I still have another $2,500 to $3,000 to fix, and I'm pretty sure I can get the other project going for about that. And
Yeah,
on
the
road.
entire car.
Yeah, and on the road. So that one will be cool, and we're actually really excited. We're gonna go try that one's sitting in a field. and
So
I-
what car is that?
That's a 1973 AMC Hornet Sportabout, which is the tiny. It's
A Sportabout.
It's that size car, but a station wagon. It's and that car actually, this as a station wagon, weighs less than the Maverick.
It's a little tiny
it's
car.
like 100 pounds less than the Maverick. But that one, for all of our fans, is going to get an LS.
Yes.
I've really been toying around the idea of tearing apart the Envoy, which I know, especially Matt behind the camera, doesn't want to happen. But
So I've been tossing up the idea of him not ripping apart that car just because of how good it is.
it's a fun car.
So he has, what is it, like a 2006?
06 Envoy.
So 06 Envoy. GMC Envoy, for what you guys know, is basically a mini TBSS.
That's a big TBS.
Oh yeah. It's a big
It's the Envoy XL.
it's the fucking extended cab.
It's 18 inches longer than Trailblazer SS.
And how much more does it weigh? Quite a bit more.
That weighs 5,200 pounds. It's 5,199. Sorry.
Dude, the Trailblazer SS only weighs like 4,400
I think it's
pounds.
45 something.
45 something. That's
45 something. So
it. With
it's-
also,
it's-
mind you, it's got a LS2 400 horsepower Corvette engine, which when they designed that car, like I always when that first came out, I graduated high school in 2006, and I remember when that first Trailblazer came out, and when they threw a Corvette car engine in it, aluminum block car engine, I'm like, how good is that actually going to really truly be? Because it's made for high revving, going fast. But when you slap that little 6.0 in a big old heavy body car, which, mind you, it's not that big of a heavy car, but it still weighs goddamn near another 1,500 pounds more than a Corvette, which that engine was supposed to be in. Oh yeah, that's different. But that's got a supercharger on it. Hellcats are blown.
He's got like 350 on you on horsepower range, but you still weigh only 100 pounds more than him. And that
I'm not gonna talk shit. I mean, I will talk shit on Hellcats.
Yeah.
Just because of in the car realm. So realistically, in the GM world, what do we have nowadays? All we have is a Camaro,
which is not anymore.
Yeah, which the Camaro is done now, and we have the Corvette, which the Corvette is basically a damn near a supercar nowadays. We can't. You and me cannot afford a Corvette at any price today. You want to go and buy a C8, a baseline C8 at MSRP today? I don't have no idea. Probably $80,000 or more. Which if I'm gonna go buy a Corvette, if just per se, if I had the money, I'm not gonna buy a base Corvette. I want the Z06.
You want the cool.
So how much is the Z06? Fuck, that car has got to be $120,000 minimum. Probably more than that. Didn't you just see what we just watched Meekum, right? Where they just sold the very first Corvette, the very first C6. Which don't mind, you can't base off prices off of that first one sold. Yeah, of course.
Charity's gonna take more, and it went for $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million. Yeah. Which the new C8 will probably sell for, MSRP probably $140,000. I'm just gonna guesstimate.
But after doing markup. Probably.
After all that shit.
But yeah, I did find out a fun fact since we were slightly on the subject of Mopar, the Envoy, which actually this is here because the Envoy is at my dad's house right now because we're working on his truck and he.
Yeah, as you can see, we have a bunch of shit out here.
Yeah, but
I think we got a little Ray Sonic, the TBSS chilling over there. We got the work truck, the new Geo. This literally has just sat. This is just pulled up today.
Yeah.
This car has not been around for what, 7 years?
5 or 6. Yeah.
No, it's been like at least 6 years.
Yeah.
So she's back.
But, so,
the X.
On the subject of Mopars, so I was going to my dentist appointment, get the teeth cleaned every 6 months, and headed down my road to get out of my town to the freeway. There was a TRX behind me. He was going to turn left.
That's basically a Hellcat.
That's a Hellcat
truck.
Yeah. They're heavy, but they're fast.
Oh, yeah, they don't fuck around. Anyways, 707 horsepower, right?
He was going to turn, and I don't know if he heard the cam, which he probably did, but he decided to not turn. And he was then 2 cars behind me. It's down, we go probably about 1.5 miles down a 1-lane road before we get to the freeway. And when the light turned, I was 2 cars ahead of him. And I just kind of got on it. And by the time he made it around traffic, which, mind you, that truck squatted.
That truck is made to go fast.
Yeah. When he came around...
Your Envoy...
is not.
Is not.
No, it's not at all. But when he came around traffic, so we make a left-hand turn, it's a stoplight onto the freeway. Traffic normally stays in the fast lane for whatever stupid reason. I always automatically go to the slow lane because I know that's going to happen. He didn't do that. So by the time he swung out, I was going a solid 55, maybe 60 miles an hour at the very most. And I wasn't flooring it. I was probably 3/4 throttle. But when I saw him come out, I don't think I've ever seen, because it's meant for jumping, or not jumping, but it's meant for off-road.
Oh, yeah, it's made for sending it off of fucking dunes and shit,
I don't think I've
basically.
ever seen a vehicle in my rearview mirror squat. When he came out from that car, that thing was squatting so hard. It looked
it's like a Ford. Remember when the first Lightnings?
The Raptors.
Or not, the
Raptors.
Sorry, not the Lightnings,
Same
the Raptors.
But that thing
Remember the
squatted.
Raptors, the rear suspension travel was like 2 feet or some crap?
Yeah, he was coming at me. My wife was in the car. And so I just saw him squat, and I just floored it. And that car's way faster than the Envoy. But they have a speed limit governor of, I think, 117, 18, or 20, something like that. But with my with me flooring it when I did, and my little bit of a head start, he couldn't catch me. He literally got like 7 or 8 cars behind me, and you could see right when he tacked out because he just stopped, and I just kind of kept going. He was angry.
Oh, I'm sure he was mad.
It made me so happy. Because he might have thought that my car was just fast, even though it's not. Because
I don't think you guys remember. We might have put it on video, but we were in Vegas for LS Fest, and we were all piled in the Trailblazer SS. You see it over there? We had what? 5 guys. We had you and me in the front seat.
Doogie.
And then Doogie.
It was
Nikki Slides and somebody else. Yeah. So we were literally like 2,000 extra pounds inside the car. And we were on Sahara Boulevard or Street, whatever the hell they call it. You guys know where Sahara is. Sahara is right where the SLS, which is now it's called the Sahara again, the casino. Right where the Strat is, the Stratosphere. Anyway, we're heading west down Sahara, and we pull up to a stoplight, and a brand new 2021-22 TRX.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Pulls up next to us, and it's an older guy. It's an older white guy, and he looks at, so he sees me in the Trailblazer, and he goes, he gives me his little nod because he knows what's up. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's a clean vehicle," and I look at him, I'm like, "Oh shit, that's a fucking TRX, 707 horsepower, and so we luckily we actually got. I think we had to go through one light, maybe 2 lights to get lined up to each other, and then we go on the light, and then everybody in my car is like.
The Mercedes was next to us too.
Oh yeah, there was like some
a yellow Mercedes. It was a compressor. I don't know.
Yeah, some fast
was,
Mercedes. I'm not a big Mercedes guy. It was like a AMG 6.3 or something 6.3.
It was the cheaper one. The cheaper AMG.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Whatever. Regardless,
yeah.
It wasn't fast. And
because the loaded down TBSS got out on that thing.
Yeah, we got out on that guy, and that thing made way more power than we did, and we were freaking. Well, that car weighed a lot too.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, anyway, so we pull up to this guy, and everyone in the car is like, "Matt, fucking launch on this fool," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm not gonna there's no point. Like, he's just gonna blow our freaking doors off." And I'm like, "You know what? Fuck it, I don't even care." We just left SEMA. Literally, it's like 5 o'clock. We're heading straight towards the sun, so the sun is literally in our face, and I literally load this thing up on the fucking brake and launch this thing as hard as I possibly could with the whole squad in, and we freaking launch, and your boy 707 horsepower truck is literally dead nuts with us for freaking a minute.
Probably about to 40, 45 mile an hour.
And then I probably shifted one time, and he was gone. He ghosted us. But what's hilarious is you guys think those trucks are so fast.
Well, even the
and
Hellcats
so much,
they
got so much power, but like they realistically don't.
Well, not power away. That's
fuck. We're heavier than him, and we only make 400 horsepower. So, like he didn't even get out on us. That's what's funny. I don't know. Well,
I don't think
it's hard to explain. Like, we have a friend that has one of those trucks, and we've been in it. And yeah, don't get me wrong, it fucking hauls ass. But when we launched up to him, and we from a dig, we fucking got out. I don't even know how that was even physically possible, but we did. Unless he was not on the throttle.
Maybe he wasn't ready. He just wasn't ready.
I don't
Maybe
know.
he floored it after us. We don't know. Hey, Lucas.
Oh yeah, of course he blew the doors off. But anyway, what's up, Lukey?
This is my son right here.
This is little Lukey.
This is little Lukey. What do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
What do you want? Do you want to do anything while you're in it?
Yeah.
You want to sit in it? Or you want to start it up?
You want to start it up?
You want to sit on Daddy's lap and start it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we can do that.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Why not?
The car is here. We might as well, boys.
Why is that up?
Oh, we're going to start this thing.
Shut it.
I haven't heard this thing run in a minute.
I drove it here and...
Yeah, I'm sure she runs great. I helped put this engine in this car. I do remember. And look at this car was originally that puke green color, as you can see.
Olive green, puke green, whatever you want to call it.
I call it puke green.
Yeah, alright. Come here. Want me to help you or no?
I love that steering wheel.
I do too. It's big. It's in your lap.
Well, yeah, because old cars.
They didn't have power steering. So this thing actually has a Borgeson power steering pump in it. which is a GM style pump. So it actually has a power steering box in it.
And electric fuel pump. Hear
Yeah.
that, boys? Oh, this thing sounds so good. I wish you guys can actually hear what this thing really sounds like. You can't hear on a phone
But
recording,
it sounds
but
good.
it sounds so
feels
good.
The only
Looky, you like this car? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You look sweaty, dude. It's hot out here.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's only like 115.
It's only 110 degrees out here right now.
Literally, look at the gauges already are slightly above 110.
What a beautiful car. I'm not a Ford guy, but I have very big respect for this car. You got the Mach 1 hood on it.
It's hot in here, huh? Oh! I haven't shown you the coolest part of this thing that actually works.
What?
Oh, okay, check this out. So, turn that off. Get the camera here real quick. Alright, so you're going to hit your blinker. Look like we're turning right. So you got your right blinker there. But you also got your white blinker right
That
there.
is so fucking
Right,
cool.
and then you go left.
I love how your dad actually hooked that all up.
All of it.
That's such the coolest thing.
That's
like a Cadillac. You know, Cadillac did. That's how Cadillac
Yeah.
did shit when they had it on the, you know, they used to have a little
yeah.
a sensor or like a little stupid thing like somewhere around here, which I'm sure other companies do that as well. But
I gotta
Anyway.
go spider real quick, sorry.
anyway, guys, as you can see, that puke green
Look at
color on
it,
there.
just over there.
We're out here in Senior, California, so we're out here in the cuts.
Yeah, we got spiders.
She didn't get it.
Yeah, no, she's covered. She'll die.
Can you kill her, please? Our son's over here.
No, she's good.
Dang.
She's gonna die.
We
Just let her
want
die.
spiders.
Anyway,
Rather than later.
before we close this last video, do we have any insight on what we're gonna do in the future?
Yeah, we do. So the AMC project is fun because we're still doing Two Matt's Garage. That's probably going to be the first one that comes in here. We still got work to do on the 240.
Oh, mind you, actually, before we even say anything about that, we have the Madera. What is it called? Slide Fest?
The Slide Fest.
Slide Fest,
Smoke Fest?
Smoke Fest, something like that. You
One of
guys,
the two.
Smoke Fest, Slide Fest.
If
It's
you're in the
July
Central Valley,
29th.
yeah. If you guys are in the Central Valley area, it's a fun time. The last one we threw was pack stands, good time. I'm taking the Envoy out there. The 240 is going to be out there. Nikki is going to bring out his V. I
Yeah,
believe.
Nikki Slides is
his
going to
V
bring out the CTS-V. Maybe a couple other guys will bring some other crap
But
out.
there's a lot of cool cars coming, and this time around, because of how successful the last one was, there's actually a lot more cars showing up, a lot more cool cars, and it's an actual competition. Last time it was kind of a let's see who shows up and if this is worth doing kind of thing, and it ended up great.
And also, if you guys aren't wanting to compete or just go on the track, they're doing a whole car show.
Yeah, a whole car show, and my Envoy is not a drift car at all. It weighs too much, it
No.
doesn't make enough power, but it does a great burnout, so it is going to be in the burnout pit. If you guys want to
So,
do burnouts, let's do
Yeah,
it.
most definitely. If you guys want to just come and waste some tires, screw around for just 20 seconds, 30 seconds,
Whatever you
a
want,
minute,
whatever you wanna do.
blow the tires off the car. We
gonna blow
really
my-
don't give a
I'm gonna
shit.
literally
So
borrow
that's
a
what I was
truck and
telling
trailer
him.
from
Yeah,
him so I can
exactly.
blow my
He's
car.
literally wanting to. I wanted him to trailer my car out there, but he wants me to trailer his car. So we're gonna take two Duramaxes out and two trailers to bring out the 240 and the Envoy to go out to Madera. Which luckily Madera is only about 30 miles from us, so it should be cool. We're not worrying. It's gonna be really hot. It's gonna be about 110 degrees probably out there. But hey, we're
There's
born
concession
and raised
stands,
out
there's
here.
beer, there's whatever you want. There's food, there's water.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
It should be
take
fine.
care of.
So,
Yeah,
other than that,
that's it for.
I guess this is our farewell
It's not goodbye. It's see you
No,
later.
yeah, we're telling you see you later. We'll see you on the next one.
All right,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Not right there. No.